Earlier this week, on the first full day of the first special legislative session, the House passed the two bills Governor Greg Abbott called on lawmakers to pass. Now, this allowed Speaker of the House, Dave Phelan, to adjourn indefinitely. And to give us a little insight, we invited our very own Ryan Chandler to the show. And you have been at the Capitol. I think you said you worked 2 weeks straight. You have been there every day.
It's been a busy time with all of this.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so what exactly does this adjournment mean?
Put simply, this was a power move by the House to tell the Senate, you can take our legislation or you can pass nothing. Because the House and Senate passed different versions of property tax plans. They have different ideas for how to do that. And by adjourning, they can't come back without permission from the governor. So now the Senate is left with the House bills that they can't make amendments to, because then they would have to send them back to the House to either concur or confer with the amendments to try to find a compromise. But there is no House, so the Senate's just going to have to deal with that, and the Lieutenant Governor has already said they're not passing those bills. So this is setting us up for a much longer debate over property taxes.
Okay, and speaking of property taxes, can we just talk about what are we at this impasse? What is happening now?
So again, top leaders from Governor Abbott to Lieutenant Governor Patrick to the leader, the Speaker of the House, Dave Phelan, have all agreed since the beginning of this session that lowering property taxes is their #1 priority, but they have different strategies to get there. Let's take a step back to really understand how this all works, because it can get very convoluted. Keep in mind, the state doesn't levy a property tax, so it can be very difficult to lower it. Those are all determined by local governments and school districts. So Governor Abbott's plan is called tax rate compression. That essentially is spending more than $17 billion to buy down local district property tax rates, essentially footing the bill for the taxpayer. The Senate plan has some of that, but they're also pushing heavily for increasing the homestead exemption. That's how much of the value of your house you can deduct before you pay property taxes. It's $40,000 now. Dan Patrick wants to raise it to $100,000 to really prioritize homeowners for these property tax cuts. So they've been at an impasse there. They all want to spend billions and billions of dollars to do this, but they can't agree exactly who to prioritize and where to spend that money.
Okay. And moving now from special session, over the weekend, the House voted to impeach, as we know, Ken Paxton, and now former Secretary of State John Scott has been named interim. He worked under Governor Greg Abbott. Tell us a little bit about Scott.
So John Scott and Governor Abbott go a long ways back. Scott actually served as the Deputy Attorney General under Attorney General Abbott when the current governor held that position. He's been the Chief Operating Officer of the Health and Human Services Commission, and not too long ago he actually spent a little over a year as the Texas Secretary of State. So he has a very long resume within Texas politics. He's a longtime lawyer from Fort Worth. And Governor Abbott said he already knows the Attorney General's office. He's ready to take over as a, quote, short-term interim AG, of course, all pending the Senate trial of Ken Paxton. Okay,
and then getting to that, what's the latest on the impeachment?
So just a couple hours ago, we heard from the House Impeachment Managers, which is a Republican majority group of House of Representatives who will essentially manage the proceedings in the Senate when that goes to a trial. They introduced us to two high-profile lawyers who are going to serve as the prosecutors against Ken Paxton. Those are Dick DeGuerin and Rusty Hardin, which, if you're from Houston like I am, you've known those names for years. They're very high-profile. Dick DeGuerin has defended some high-profile names like former House Majority Leader Tom DeLay when he was facing money laundering charges. Rusty Hardin just defended the former Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson against his sexual misconduct accusations. What's interesting here is those are two criminal defense attorneys. They've staked their career against defending people who are facing similar allegations that Paxton is now. So notably today, they said that they have serious concerns about the misconduct accusations against Paxton, and they said, quote, they are 10 times worse than what has been made public so far.
Wow. Okay. So we will stay tuned for this. We know that our Monica Madden, she's been delving into this as well, and she'll have more information for us at 5 o'clock. Ryan Chandler, thanks so much.
Thanks, Jen.